I grew up in a polygamist cult. Anybody else? Anybody? Polygamy. It's the practice of having more than one husband or wife. Cool. Wait, no. No, that's wrong. Polygamy, it's the practice of having more than one wife. That's it. That's right. No, it's wrong. Right? Cults are really awesome. Unless you're not the leader. Kids in cults, they're not allowed normal things like toys or holidays or Adderall. I'm all about achievement. And I found out that as a kid, I was in one of the world's largest child ritualistic sex rings in the history of the United States at that time. Me, a world record holder. That part of my childhood, it was crazy, but not like Manson family crazy, not like we killed Sharon Tate kind of crazy. No. The only thing our cult killed was our dreams. Years later, I obviously made my dreams come true. I did what any normal person would have done. I packed up my car in the middle of an all-night drug binge. And I moved to Hollywood to be a star. I wanted to see my name in lights, flashing lights. I saw lights. The officers, they obviously didn't get the memo on who the hell I think I am. I'm not much, but I'm all I ever think about. So I did some research on my past. See, I was looking for some hilarious trauma that I could use in my comedy. I went through old diaries, photo albums, FBI files. Someone said tragedy plus time equals comedy. Then again, I've never really been good at math or thinking. I have people for that. Men, obviously. What is it about being traumatized that makes us want to be famous? And by us, I mean me. See, I want to be the reason that someone feels seen or heard or supported. I want to matter. I know, that's really pushing it. It wasn't cool living in a cult as a kid, which is devastating because I would have done anything to be popular back then. And now, okay, add me on Instagram at Amber in the Valley. I would have worshipped the devil if he wouldn't have put a return stamp on me. See, I tried to sell my soul. Didn't work. It's been a really long journey to get here. A lot of people have really touched me along the way. Mostly my uncle. Not true. It wasn't my uncle. It was my aunt. It's okay. I'm adopted. And you know what they say. I can have guilt-free sex with my cousin. Okay, let's start at the beginning. How did I end up in an apocalyptic, fundamental, polygamist cult? Let's rewind. My mom, Rose, who had a tattoo of a rose on her just in case she forgot her stage name while she was on the go-go. Well, my mom, Rose, she used a fake ID when I was born. Yeah, she had stolen it from some lady at the bar. That poor lady, she had her ID stolen at a bar, and next thing she knows, she had a baby. She's like, I swear, I didn't give birth. This is not my baby. And not only that, but I lost my ID. My mom, Rose, well, she likes to smoke when she's stressed out or in. See, I was born in the smoking section. If you think weed through a bong is tough, imagine using an umbilical cord. Personally, I would never drink or do drugs if I was pregnant. My God, I'd be more responsible and have an abortion. If you're offended by that, it's probably because you have never spent time with a drunk baby. What do you expect? I started drinking when I was 0 years old. My mom, Rose, she had a lifestyle that it wasn't fit for a baby, so she took me to a more age-appropriate place, a hangout spot, a head shop. A head shop is a place where people who don't use their head shop. My mom, she fell in love with the blow-up posters and the air ferns, the bongs. So she traded me for a pack of cigarettes. Really, Rose? A pack of smokes? But my mom, she's no quitter, unless it comes to parenting. The truth is, I actually come from money. A lot of money, in fact. My family's in banking. My mom robbed them. And there was so much money. See, she used a shotgun during the robbery. It was stolen off of a pickup truck. It was in the back window. You know, that's just how Texas was back then and now. There was a getaway driver. It was a friend of Rose's from the Black Panther Party. Well, he was the lookout, and he did the driving while my mom, Rose, and another female accomplice, well, they got away with the robbery. Completely. Yeah. And then they were pulled over for driving the wrong way, down a one-way. A one-way straight to prison. That's when the police, they found my mom and a lesbian hiding like lovers. And this is when my mom, well, she finally decided it was time to come out of the trunk. And then the head shop owners, they saw Rose on the front page of the newspaper in handcuffs for a bank robbery while wearing a really cute tank top. One afternoon, while my new siblings and head shop family was bonding, smoking a little pot together, well, Mormon missionaries showed up, you know, to teach the truth about the one and only Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They did not, however, bring refreshments or treats, just a message from God, blah, blah, blah. You know, the elders, those guys, the young men who are wearing suits and ties while riding 10 speeds and each other while absolutely not being gay, those guys. We learned about the church founder, Joseph Smith, a 14-year-old. One day, while playing outside in a grove of trees with two adult men, and they were naked, wearing robes over whatever. One said to call him God, the other Jesus, and they were ghosts. These ghosts told Jojo to start a new religion because all of the other religions in the world were wrong. And every religion but the right one will burn in hell, all the members, for time and infinite eternity. And funnily enough, Joseph had been searching for this very truth at that exact very moment, right there in that very grove of trees. He was seeing things that no one else witnessed. Nobody else was there. Just this 14-year-old in the 1800s. And, you know, when a teenager is having visions and claims to be a prophet of God, well, people listened. Yeah. My new head shop parents, oh, they never listened to anybody, especially my dad. He never listened to anybody, ever. So, that's when we joined and quit the head shop. But I shouldn't and needn't and wanted to worry. I needn't worry. In order to join the religion, my head shop parents, they would have to give 10% of all of their earnings to the church. Yeah. And 10% of their new earnings was literally pennies. That's right. For the price of a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee you are no longer allowed to drink. You too can join. And when it comes to joining the right religion, you have to make sure it's the true church. Just like all the other ones. My head shop parents, well, they were dunked in water, as all hippies should be, baptized, bathed. I am a Mormon. Just like Donny Osmond and his sister wife, Marie. That means I was almost famous. Hashtag blessed. See, the Mormons, they prayed and asked God to help my new head shop parents to stop drinking and smoking and doing coke, a cola, the real thing. So my dad, he bought us near beer for our family to drink, us kids. So we would just like walk around like and just sipping on some near beer. I mean, it tastes just like beer. I mean, I hated non-alcoholic beer, but since we weren't allowed the real thing, well, I mean, a kid does need a drink. We learned a lot from those missionaries. Like how Jesus, he came back to America after being resurrected and all that, just to check out the Adam and Eve garden. It's still there in Missouri. And you know how Mormons, they believe in polygamy, but they can't practice it because taxes. And then there was this one other reason. What was it? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Law. It's against the law. And my dad, he said it was time for us, our family, to double our blessings by moving to the promised land where the pioneers settled long ago. Utah. See, Utah, it's the land where virgins let the guys give them anal and they do blowjobs so that they could remain pure while on a non-coffee date. Yeah. So there in Utah, we were just eventually poor, homeless, and hungry. In the promised land, just as Heavenly Father intended. Yeah, we used to go dumpster diving for food behind Albertsons, where the family dined on expired blue cheese that I'm pretty sure used to be yogurt. See, Dad, he would like hoist us up and we would forage, and I mean, we got a lot of like really weird looks from people, and I know what they were thinking when they were just like staring at us. They were just like wishing that they had gotten there first. I mean, they had to be so jealous. Like the food, it was perfectly fine once you get used to the taste of garbage. Then we had to get down on our knees and fold our arms and bow our head right there in the parking lot and pray like assholes. I mean, why did we have to pray for blessings? I mean, it was just so stupid. It's so stupid to do that because we obviously already had blessings. It was day old donut day. In the 3rd grade, we were removed from public school by my parents because elementary school is of the devil. My head shop parents, they didn't like the worldly ways of education. Plus, there were really evil influences there, like disguised as children. They didn't like the things we were being taught, like math, history, science, and that my parents were out of their freaking minds. These evil influences, children. When my head shop parents were asked to take part in one of those get to the highest kingdom of heaven like seminars, scheme, or whatever it is, well, they just jumped like out of the dumpster and into the storage unit where we lived, dropped off the donuts, and then they ran to the car, but it wouldn't start. So then we got to jump from the neighbors, the same neighbors that we were eating the dandelions out of their yards, and they asked us to stop eating their weeds, and then we left, and then anyway, we finally headed straight to the promised land, paradise. We made it. You know, you'd made it once you'd moved to Paradise, Utah. It was at this weird, like, multi-schemed pyramid seminar thingamajigger that my parents, they met the person that would introduce us to the true meaning of life. That's right. It's kind of like a timeshare sales pitch, but instead of a condo on the lake, it's really special. Like, you can't use your benefits or your points until after you die. And then, when you do, there's like a heavenly planet, all of your own. You, who may be crazy, come on down. So, this woman who had the seminar, she became a close family friend the moment that she loaned my dad cash. I mean, she was cool. She's still cool. We're still friends. We're friends on Facebook. I mean, this woman, she felt sorry for us, and she moved my family in with her family. And I'm sure that her many children really appreciated it. I mean, she didn't like rescue dogs or cats. No, she rescued entire families. What she should have done is had us all neutered. And that was when we met the one and only true prophet of the cult that broke away from the Mormon Church. The real mighty prophet of our Lord and our Savior Jesus, and I mean Jesus Christ. And the prophet's name, Arvin. Prophet Arvin wasn't so bad. I mean, I do have some fond memories of him. I just can't think of any. See, we looked normal on the outside. It was just a subdivision. But if you were to like take a tour of this new place that we had found, you would find like food storage, alarm systems, medical supplies, semi-automatic weapons, and they were all like hidden in these like secret compartments and secret rooms. And okay, well, there was this one room, and it was under a shoe rack. If you lifted it up, you could go down, and it was this room, and it was like padded and had all the stuff in it, and it was like you could be in that room and you could scream at the top of your lungs, and nobody for miles and miles and miles could hear a word. And I was like, oh my God, stop this, stop this right now. I picked that as my room. See, people, they know Arvin as the prophet, and others knew him too as their gardener. The prophet of God was a landscaper. See, the men were the leaders of their families, and they were called sister cults. The motto should have been just like, no one can eat just one. Who would ever want to fuck that dude? Prophet or not. I mean, we were taught that Arvin looked like a Greek god in heaven. I mean, this is all after we die, of course. It's like a mighty hot prophet in a cape and wearing armor and carrying a sword in heaven for no reason. Sounds like Comic-Con. I mean, even the hottest guy looks like he should be. Nobody looks good just like that. Even in the privacy of your own imagination. Prophet or not, Arvin looked like what do you call it? Oh yeah, a pedophile. Here's another fun game that they played in the cult. It was called Rape in the Dark. I mean, it's fun for the rapist, not the victim. Next time, can I be the rapist? I mean, I don't really want to rape anybody. I just hate to lose on game night. Okay, who's running this shit show? Oh yeah, Prophet Arvin. See, cult leaders, they prey upon broken people and people who happen to have really hot kids. I know it's a little bit show-offish, but, you know, I was a really hot kid. Hot child in the city. I mean, everybody had a favorite wife, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. I knew someday I would be a favorite wife in a polygamous marriage that wasn't legal. One could only dream. But I didn't. I actually just wanted to be the prettiest. I mean, I didn't want to be the best or number one or anything like that. All I cared about is I just wanted to be the prettiest wife. There's some crazy brainwashing going on there with these weird beliefs. But when it comes to the end of the world being at stake, I mean, you can't risk not being with the right cult. I had a friend there that was my age. I mean, she's cool. She was so cool. Lala, yeah, I mean, she always had like these perfect braids. I mean, I don't know. And her parents like lived right down the street from her too. And I asked her one day, I was like, so Lala, what do you think about all of this here? And she was like, Amber, I don't know. I'm just 12 and barely married. I shouldn't have even asked. I mean, her sister Andy, well, she was fast. Yeah, real fast. It was like, we got a runner! We'd have to like, whoom. I mean, wow. I learned how to meditate, but not how you guys do it with mantras and bells. My meditation was given to me like this. We had a notebook and we were put in a room by ourselves and we just like sat down and we waited for a message to come from the other side. Then I was supposed to write down the message and then show an adult. So yes, I was taught to talk to invisible people. Really, invisible friends. See, I never heard anything. That spirit never showed up. See, I was ghosted by a ghost. Years and years after the cult, I got pregnant, of course. I mean, nobody should get excited about it. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to keep it or not. Okay. My daughter Allie, she hates that joke. I know. I'll never be the mom that my moms were. See, there's very little selection of music there either, which got old. No music, no TV, ever. Not without Prophet Arvin's approval from God, which he got in his daily revelations, and they were given to us each morning. Oh, there were, like, chosen materials we could watch, though, like God-approved stuff. Daryl Hannah in Summer Lovers. Yeah. Or Dolly Parton. Or here's another favorite. Dirty Dancing. I mean, those were allowed, obviously. But Arvin explained that the movie happened differently. See, Johnny, he wanted Baby and the dancer from the opening scene, Penny. Well, she loved him too, so Johnny really wanted both to be his true loves and dance together, all three of them forever, before putting both wives in the corner. Dolly Parton, she was part of our cult. Yeah, I mean, she didn't know it, of course. This was in heaven before earth. So, she just can't remember it in this lifetime. So, she has a different mission while she's here on earth. I was told by the Prophet Arvin that her mission was not one of purpose,